Hello viewers, once again I'm here, Pastor Forbes from Jaama FM, Radio Vision online radio and television station. Our strapline of course is Shaping Minds, Transforming Lives. We just had a phenomenal interview with Joanna Gomez and I told you let's come on board to support her. She just needs this machine to do things and we're going to raise that money for her. She's doing phenomenally well. 3 cafeterias in the university. She's done law. She's sewing things. And it just gives you hope. At the end of her program, somebody said to me, I now have hope for the Gambia. Now, it's good to see her and almost exhale to know that nobody is handing over the baton, but her type and her ilk are being guided by not just people who have made it, but people who have made it globally. And it's my immense pleasure and personal honor to have somebody I call Big Brother. He is no stranger to our country. He's no stranger now to Sierra Leone. He's no stranger to Nigeria. He's been looked for in 7 other countries. He's won so many awards that if I start reading his award, we will never finish. There are honorary doctorate degrees on his wall. And in fact, I don't know which office he's now in because it's either Port Harcourt, Sierra Leone, Gambia. It's my pleasure to have Mr. Mustapha Njie, TAF himself here. Welcome so much.
Thank you so much, my dear pastor.
And I'm so glad I finally caught you. It's difficult to track you now.
Well, I'm around.
You know, this is Samba Banjul, not a salon, not in Nigeria.
I say, there's one thing, Pastor. Anyway, it's a pleasure being here.
Yes, sir.
Pastor, we come a very long way.
Yes,
with my young brother.
Yes,
so
sir.
now we all go,
Yes,
go Methodist Prep, in Gambia High School.
Yes, sir.
And actually the relationship goes down the family.
That's true.
My sister was in the same
Auntie
class.
Day and Pamela.
With Pamela.
That's right.
So we go a very long way.
Yes,
and I keep saying that I am the only non-Christian member of his ministry.
That pays tithes.
I pay tithes to him, So that's it. But we go a long way. But it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
and thank you for the inspiration you've given to a lot of people, and thank you for housing a lot of people. There's so many things we can be talking about, TAF.
Yeah.
Your company is 24 years old. Your experience is over 48 years. You took carpentry to another level. You have smashed all kinds of awards in this country that has big boys, Nigeria, and you've done so much. You've gone to Sierra Leone. 7 other countries are looking for you and counting. Why do you call yourself the youth man? Is there something about the young people?
I'm very young at heart.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah,
but
I'm very young at heart, and that's who I am. I mean, I believe that, life is here to be enjoyed. You need to make the best of life. And I'm just youthful. That's in my heart. I just feel young.
And the other thing, I'm going to really push you on this youth thing.
Yeah.
I remember 2 different sets of people that I have brought to you. 3 actually. 1 in your office, 2 we met around Cafe Zola. And after the is it him?
Yeah.
I mean, you meet a big man like this. No, these people, you need secretaries before you can meet them. And he shares everything. He's not afraid to share anything that people will steal his ideas. So walk me through that. You are accessible, you are simple, you are out there to train to do anything. There are no airs about you.
But the issue about life, again, if I try to analyze life, I mean, some of these things that we believe in is just a myth. You think about it. I mean, the last time I mentioned to somebody who's very close to Aliko Dangote. Aliko Dangote is the biggest, is the richest black man in the world.
That's right.
Not only African. I've met him about twice or so, but somebody who's much closer to him than I am. I said, look, if Aliko came to the Banjul beach and we were walking, it is very likely nobody will know him.
That's true.
It's very likely.
That's true.
So all these things about image is because you are known. It's because you are known. I mean, if most likely all these big celebrities, there's some parts of the world that if they go there, you're not known. So you need to at times sit back and ask yourself, what is this all for? And that brings about contentment, that you are contented with life. We can't guarantee, you're a man of God, and I'm sure you preach this all the time. I cannot guarantee that when I get out of this room here, I'll reach my house forever. I cannot guarantee it. So when you think about these things here, I mean, your approach to life should be completely different to the norm. this big man business, and you know, and try to look what is best for you. What is it that you enjoy? What is it that you have a passion for? And these days, at our age, I add another bit that should be godly also.
Very.
Because you can have a passion, there's something that you enjoy, but it's not godly.
That's true.
You know, so I always add extra that I do things that I enjoy, you know, and also that is godly. And once it's there, that's where it stops. Everything else is irrelevant to me. It's very secondary.
Wow. And here you are helping the housing deficit globally, particularly in Africa. And the last I remember, it was 1 million houses.
Yeah, you look, Pastor...
Does that figure not scare you?
No, it doesn't. You mentioned that I have 24 years my business. No, it's 34 actually. It's 34 years.
Oh, yeah.
We started in 1990.
Math, 1990,
yeah,
sorry.
I started in 1990.
Yes.
But next year, I would have been working for 50 good years.
Half a century.
Half a century. I mean,
You
I
don't-
left
you-
school. I left school in 1975.
You don't look
Yeah.
any bit of...
Yeah, and then started working. And
Wow.
since then, I haven't stopped. I tried to stop about 4 years ago. No, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
When I turned 60,
60.
I thought, look, I was going to retire, but I couldn't stop. But now
You're actually doing
on
more.
throttle,
Yeah,
I
you're
discovered
doing
that,
more.
look, I need to do more. But you asked about the housing delivery. And the thing is, as a good entrepreneur, what you do is you try to conquer challenges. If you're a very good entrepreneur, it's not about the money. You're not trying to make money. Yes, you need money. Money opens a lot of doors. It solves a lot of problems. But if you are really entrepreneurial, it's about conquering challenges. What is it?
Somebody should tweet that.
Yeah, you need to conquer challenges. I mean, what is it that people think is impossible, that you want to make possible? That's where you really get your pleasure from. That is, yes, I have done it. And I always quote and use Dubai as an example. I mean, people who are leading Dubai, if you look at Dubai today, Dubai way back around 1975 or so, no, 70s, in the 70s, there was only the DFI building also standing there. Everything was desert. You know, but somebody was there to say, look, we're going to make a difference. And they keep breaking their own records.
That's right.
You know, anytime, you know, they think that they've built Burj Khalifa, the tallest, they're thinking about
Another
what to do. They're not waiting for somebody to overtake them before they come in. So for me as an entrepreneur, that's what my life is about. I mean, I'm always just, you know, thinking, you know, deep down in me that what can I do better? And for me, I'm known for housing delivery. And I want to leave my legacy on housing delivery, you know, in Africa, because I mean, I'm African.
Yes.
It's difficult to compete with the rest of the world, like the Chinese with numbers.
That's right.
You know, South America, they're doing very well. You know, but in Africa, I mean, I don't think there's any private developer that's taking up the bull by the horn like what we have done.
Yes, sir.
I mean, 1 million homes. I don't think there's any. And also, not only that, there's no developer today that operates, for example, in West Africa, in 3 African countries, and in a big way. In each of these countries that we're developing, like the Gambia, what we're doing in TAF City, it is the biggest.
Yeah.
Actually, we want to make a statement. We're making a statement. And our statement is that we're building a city privately, which is twice bigger than our capital city. That's a huge statement.
Whoa.
You know, and it is being done without any incentive from the government. It is privately being done.
Wow.
And then, you know, in Sierra Leone, also the same thing. I mean, what we are building there is the biggest in Sierra Leone ever to be built. In Nigeria, I don't think there's any Nigeria.
So 20,000 houses.
We're doing
or so?
20,000 houses in Nigeria. And it's real. We started in January. Today, 600 are going up. So it's real. It's not that we're telling you grammar, as we say in Nigeria.
I know.
It's happening.
Well, I've seen
you know, it's happening. And you know, so it's a statement, and we feel that we can take the lead. We have what it takes to deliver.
Yes, sir.
You know, 50 years working experience, 34 of running a business.
You must know a thing or two.
You have to. So forget about my outlook, the image you see.
Yes.
But anybody who's armed with this should be able to do it.
Now, obviously, somebody once said, never start a business that you're not there to see it go. So Sierra Leone, Gambia, Nigeria, and other parts we will not talk about. Obviously, you have very well motivated staff. how do you get the staff? How do you motivate them? You are a Pan-Africanist, I know.
Yeah.
So I know you have staff from probably all the ECOWAS, but how do you motivate them and synergize them to be as focused as you are to deliver, even in your absence?
Okay, first, let's start with the world today. What has made a huge difference in this world today? Technology. And anybody in any business or anything in life, what you need to harness is technology. I mean, for example, a surgeon can now perform surgery on a patient remotely. Technology. How can somebody be here and learn something en masse? Technology. And it's the same technology that we are using to run our business. I get daily reports. I get live reports from my managers. As I sit to you now, on my phone here, I can see all the cameras that are in Sierra Leone. You know, there are about 9 cameras, you know, security cameras, which are now, I can just, you know, look at them through my phone. So I can watch live. If I just sit in my bedroom, you know, I can be watching my phone and see images, things that are moving. If, for example, your car was entering the site, and I can see the number plate on it. Technology. So we use a lot of technology. I mean, look at what you're doing now. I mean, I'm sure your radio station, everything you're doing, it is because of the advancement of technology and how you are harnessing it that you're able to do so. Today, somebody in Australia can be listening to us live. Somebody in New Zealand can do the same thing. So that's a quick answer. That we have realized, you know, at a very early stage, well, in business that look, or recently, that technology must be harnessed. You must use technology. And using technology, one of them, for example, in our business, is social media. I mean, people see how strong I am on social media. And at times,
I'm told you are one of the influencers in Gambia on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, I am. And that's deliberate. It's not by accident.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know where I want to go, and I'm achieving it. You know, and I know how to do it. I understand the algorithms. I know when to post, where to post, what to put there. You know, come on, AI is doing this for us. Today, everybody talks about AI. On WhatsApp, you have AI. Today, there's no, to a certain extent, nobody needs to be smart.
So he's not retiring, folks. Forget it, he's not retiring.
Mr. Pastor, these are very simple things. These are enough on our phones, something that we have.
That's so true.
So today, somebody writes a good letter or a good document. It's not him. Lawyers,
it's a computer.
It's a computer that's doing it. Artificial intelligence, and it's going to be advanced.
That's true.
I mean, it is likely that most likely the phone that we are holding, days are coming when we are going to just look at our palm, put a chip in our body, and it will work. So you need to catch up. But you know, this is the reality. So in our business, we use this. We have softwares that are all on our phones. So daily I get a report on everything that is going. I mean, for example, before payments are made in Nigeria, I'm not there. I've not been in Nigeria for 6 weeks, and works are ongoing. Payments are being done. But everything that I need to know, comes to me. Some things I don't need to know. You talk about delegating.
That's right.
You know, I've got some Nigerians. I mean, in Nigeria, I have today 100% Nigerians working for me. 100%.
Wow.
But these are people that have worked with me for 12 years now.
You had a hybrid many years ago.
Yes.
They had that truck that you used to take them on the way.
Yeah, but I switch them, you know, back and forth. Wherever it's weak, we supply, because it's a corporate body. For example, you know, if you work for the big corporate bodies in the world, you are not stationed in one place. I mean, people who work for Stanchart, you know, they've been roaming around all over.
That's right.
EcoBank, actually EcoBank that operates in 33 African countries. EcoBank is not that older than us. EcoBank was founded around when? 1989 or so, 2 years before we started. But look at the size of EcoBank. That's right. And EcoBank is somebody's dream who's still alive.
That's true.
You know, Kofi Jondo of Togo, who's about 91 years old now. He's a bit old. But he's the same man who also came up with A-Sky.
Yes.
So you need to ask ourselves, if Mr. Jondo of Togo can do it this big, I should be able to do it. And that's the question I keep asking myself. And then it becomes so easy. You know, I mean, come on, let me just point out to you, your church that you have built, it must be one of the biggest private churches built.
It is.
And this is who Pastor Francis Forbes, this Ndongo boy, we come out, Dipakunda. Huh?
Soska.
Yeah, Soska. So, you know, this is the world today.
Yes.
So we must ask ourselves the questions all the time. Why can't I do it?
So if I should zero this down on the Gambian youth, are they self-limiting? Are they self-censoring? Or is it external factors that are not making them get where they otherwise could have? And having said that, I know a lot are doing a lot of things. And that's why I keep wondering, why does he call himself youth man? Is he trying to tell them that they can be like him? Is the Gambian youth self-limiting?
Well, let me tell you, okay, if you were to address this, and actually I want to expand this, look at it continentally.
All right.
And I think it's a socio-economic issue. And then with this, actually, you can come up with figures, I mean, statistics, and analyze them, data, to be able to understand why is it that X is happening when Y is not working. These are all very scientific. So in the Gambia, I think we have one social issue because of who we are. Everybody eats every day. Yeah. We have not been pushed to the edge, whether good or bad, but that's the reality. And if you had brought in a Nigerian and put him in this situation, he will be the same person. So it's not about being Gambian. Okay. There's something that socially, you know, forcing this person, this Mr. X, to behave like this. So let's not label the nationality.
All right.
There are conditions why they are who they are.
Because if they go abroad,
it will be different. Because we see Gambians who are doing extremely well elsewhere.
That's true.
If you go to America, they're making it. They go to hustle. I took Gambians to Nigeria. They perform as good as the Nigerians.
True. That's true.
So, I mean, these things are social issues, and it can be analyzed to come out with the results. But typically, I think in the Gambia, the reason why probably we are who we are, which again, it's depends on where you're looking at it. A glass can be half full or half empty. But we have the issue of maslaha. We have the issue of looking after, you know, our close ones. Yes. Which socially is good. We support them. I mean,
welfare.
We used to welfare, the welfare issue. You know, you remember we used to say, so they may say them for new letter. They like go newspaper.
That's true.
But here, you know, if I walk into your house, actually you feel offended if I don't eat.
That's right.
So actually there is no motivation for that person to work hard because he or she eats. There is no homeless in this country. Have you ever walked anywhere and found somebody sleeping under a bridge or by the tree that doesn't have a home? Even in England or America, it's there. You go to LA, where you are supposed to have millionaires living there. There are homeless people. That's right. People who cannot afford to have a roof over their head. That doesn't exist in the Gambia. Food. I guess the poorest man, okay, things are getting tougher. I mean, again, you know, it's relative. Yeah. But I don't think anybody walks home, you know, starving. Let's face it. Even if it's, you know, rice that you just tapalapa or whatever, or mangoes. Go to Burford Gardens. Well, every time I say this and I walk, what I did was when we developed Burford Gardens, you know, I lined the whole streets with mangoes. Yeah. If you go there now, mangoes are dropping in the street and nobody's picking it up. So I think that for whatever we say about that hunger to get things done, it's a social effect. It's a welfare effect. Because one doesn't have the urge to do so. That's right. In Nigeria, for example, nobody gives you food. If you don't work, you go starving. If you don't pay the house rent, you are homeless.
Kicked out.
You know, so that's actually maybe some of our social workers need to analyze this and then maybe come up with results. But apart from that, I think if you want to drag this conversation further, one needs to look at population growth. That is a major issue in Africa today. You know, I always want to look African. I don't want to go not global, but also not national. Because in all the countries I operate, you see these things there. And I travel widely. I mean, I've been to over 36 African countries. You know, yes, I've been to over 30 African countries. You know, some of them I travel for pleasure, some I travel for business, some I travel for just for conferencing and so on. You know, because I have Africa in my heart.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's one thing that Africa needs to watch is our population growth.
And it's a youthful population.
Yes, I mean, look, population growth is on average in Africa about 2-point-something percent, 2.3, 2.2%. So if you multiply, 2.2% or so in the next 33 years or so, our populations will double. Then, for example, take the Gambia. The Gambia, it's about the 5th or the 6th most densely populated country in Africa.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, these days you have all these wahala, all these issues about land, people fighting. That's the reason. Because our population has just exploded. Rwanda, the reason why they had issues like those was that because, you know, the population was too much. It's the most densely populated country. So these are issues that needs to be addressed. China, for example, I mean, there was the one time they have the one-child policy.
Yes, I know.
So, you know, these are things that, you know, policymakers need to sit down, and then those who are in the helm of affairs of government needs to come up with also very strong, rigid policies to able to mitigate these things. So it's scientific. So we cannot discuss all this or come up with solutions in a medium like this.
Yes, sir.
But we can just say, look, for me, my personal view, this is my view, that the issue of population growth in Africa must be addressed. You know, we cannot just be dealing with things on the surface. The reason why Kenya had the problem of the riots with the youth, that's the reason. I mean, it's just exploding, and then people are, you know,
the cake is getting smaller and
smaller, you know,
for the people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then again, Nigeria is boiling up, you know. So this is one of the biggest threats in Africa today. Wow. We saw the Sahelian countries now with the military who are there. Again, very active, youthful population. You know, lack of hope, huge divide between the have and the have-nots. So that's a recipe for disaster.
Wow.
That's where we are. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed with good policies and very well thought out and implemented.
Yes.
It can be done. It's very scientific. I mean, look, the equation formulas you have to use to solve it. Just the way, like, for example, you know that, look, if you want a triangle, you know, you use Pythagoras theorem.
That's right.
So you cannot reinvent this.
That's right.
So same thing applies to population growth. Our education system that I follow all the time, based on the facts that are supplied by government. If you go to the Ministry of Basic Education's website. There are figures there. Figures that shows you the number of kids. Very well done. I really admire this. I mean, I'm often visiting this website. So you will see there, by region, by classroom, teacher, student, very well detailed out. But in short, I can tell you that about 150 to 175,000 kids are pouring out of our educational system annually.
Annually.
And I don't need to tell you the rest. We know our educational system. We know that, look, they go through...
How many are absorbed later?
Not only absorb, even the level of education. What can a grade 9 graduate or grade 12 graduate do? What can they do? What are you trained for? You know, they're only trained, well, to pass an exam. And we know also the success rate. Even if they pass with honors or whatever, what will they do next? They want to go into uni? Not every graduate from uni is employed. So that's where our problem is. It's an African problem. It's not a Gambian problem. It's an African problem. And that is why you have a shake-up now. You have in Nigeria some young graduates with second-class honors who are driving keke.
That's true.
My friend, how is that possible? What do you expect that guy to do? So I mean, whatever our policymakers are doing, these things need to be addressed. These things need to be addressed.
Do you think the TVET focus would help?
Of course, but you know, look, you need to be bold, and that's what leadership does. And a very good example in this is Paul Kagame, and the way he ruled Rwanda. the debate can go on. Some call him a dictator, but again, that's again for another debate. But I guess the success of Rwanda, which most people will agree, is based on good policies and boldness.
I was in Lagos, 2 months ago, just for 2 days. I was attending a worship event, and by the time my flight landed, I got to the hotel, it had started, so I refreshed, had breakfast. I was driven in this car, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and she happened to be from Rwanda.
Yeah.
And she told me that one of the things that gave them the turnaround was they had a deliberate policy on mind transformation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the boldness has to be there.
Yeah, somebody needs to take the lead and build a team. Look, if Sadio Mane just want to play by himself, he will not win Senegal. And Africans, we focus on only one person.
Yeah.
That's one of our problems. You have to develop a team. And, a good team that does well is that you have to have a good striker, a good defense, you have a good midfield, a good goalkeeper. That's the team that wins.
And you have that.
No, not me. I'm an individual. I cannot do it.
Yeah, but I want to touch on that, big bro, because
it's a team.
Your team is also biased. Is it because of the girls?
Oh, my team is in the business. I have a team. Actually, it's mixed. In Nigeria, the guy who's leading it, he's a bulldozer. He's worked with me for 12 years.
Wow.
Very dedicated. His name is Samson Abu. People go to him, like what we say here, Kibugudara. They tell him all the time.
No.
If I were you by now, this time, I would have had this mansion, I would have done this. This man, you're running everything. But these are at times God-given. You are just lucky, actually. You're just lucky that God has brought this man your way. He's been working with me for 12 years now. And he has no reason not to work with me. He's totally responsible for our Nigerian operations.
Yeah.
One time he came to Gambia. He worked here for about 2 years or so. So I moved him around.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I moved him around. But, I think that's, again, luck. We can discuss about luck later,
Or the blessing.
Yeah, the blessing,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That, again, as true believers, certain things, there's somebody's hands in these things.
Yes.
And we have to give the glory to him.
Yes. So, when you drive through TAF City, and I'm not going to fight on that, but I just want to say I feel a bit offended that there's something called a greater TAF City. Is it because they're bigger than us? But when you drive through TAF City, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel challenged. I'm happy that it's been done. A dream is being achieved. Something that I have concepted in my brain is becoming a reality.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise because there are certain things, again, scientifically, if you plan it well, it will
get
happen.
the results.
You will get the results. So yes, luck comes in at times. For example, being lucky to have somebody to come and buy. You are the only developer. But also you must have something to offer to get that person attracted. So I feel good. I feel good. I take up the challenge. There are so many challenges. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Yes. For example, I'll tell you, last week I called somebody to sell all our 5 cars because I cannot find mechanics to fix my cars. I said, look, you can't. And that's the danger we're facing in this country. And
really?
Yes. Every week the car breaks down. So I said, look, my friend, let's sell it. Forget it. 5 of them. I called actually a friend who's involved in this. I said, look, my friend, let's make me an offer. Take this with you. But these ones like that, as a good entrepreneur, you need to take them. You need to realize that, look, if this is going to work or not. But this is not only with me or with TAF, but this is a national issue.
Yeah.
Your AC, you have an AC that should serve you for 10 years, it serves you for 3 years. Then it doesn't work. You put a roof up, it's leaking because you don't have a good carpenter. So it's a national issue. This is not about, TAF's houses is X, Y, or Z. Yeah. We don't have the trained personnel to do it. Yeah. We all now have our cars with electronics. These guys are not trained to do it.
Condemn go direct.
Yes. So everybody's going to pay a price for it.
That's true.
The reason why NAWEC is suffering from what they're suffering from, they don't have the right technicians to fix it right. The reason why the ferry that should serve 20 years serves you 10, it's a problem. It's everywhere. Let's not personalize it. So removing a manager, putting somebody else, doesn't change the problem. The problem is a policy issue that if we want to deter now, and this is actually the foundation has been wrecked ages ago. Because in the last government, there was a lot of things that happened.
That's right.
We are now seeing the results.
Cause and effect.
Of course.
It was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen. I mean, you find some teachers, somebody who was trained, within the service for so many years, you get up one morning and fire him. And bring somebody, down 3/4 down the line to sit there. Fine, you've got your own friend or your own relative sitting there, but you are wrecking a system which is
incalculable damage.
You see, when certain damages happen, it's structural. For example, if you have certain ailments in you, if you are hypertensive, it doesn't kill you overnight. If you are diabetic, it doesn't kill you overnight. Even cancer doesn't kill you overnight. It is something that takes time. So the same thing with running a government. When you make certain fundamental errors, it will take some time and you will see the results. Now you get in there, you think that you can solve it overnight, you're just, wasting your time. So in order to turn it around, you have to gradually set up good policies.
Deliberately.
And act.
Re-engineering it.
Re-engineering. And it takes some time to bring it back to there. Rwanda, again, is a good example. They went through the genocide. They went to war. But it took time from 94 to date to bring them where they are.
And we're all talking about them.
Yeah, we're talking. So it is doable. It is doable in any African country. It can be done. For example, you talk about Sierra Leone. I am in love with Sierra Leone. Because when I go there, the beauty of that country, you can never see it. It's hardly seen anywhere in the world. Throw your eyes anywhere within Freetown, in the peninsula. You look by the beach. The
Lumley Beach.
Not only Lumley, you go by
Aberdeen.
Turkey and all these places. The beach is white. It's as white as this table. You look opposite, the hills, the mountains, always green.
And there's granite on the floor.
There's granite on the floor. There's gold somewhere. There's diamond somewhere. We're still, we all know what the country went through and where they are now.
Yeah.
So something is fundamentally wrong, in this continent, which we need to address. And when we address it, we need to be very honest with ourselves. Understanding a lot of things that we really want to take as issues are irrelevant. We personalize things. I mean, if the last time I went to compliment somebody about the, Batting Harding Highway, and I'm waiting to do a nice post. I love the Batting Harding Highway. If the President Barrow is hearing me, well done, President Barrow. Batting Harding Highway has a serious effect in our lives. But equally, when I say something wrong, please don't label me opposition.
Yes.
That's the problem we have.
Yes, that's true.
Honestly,
that's true.
Look, people who are very close to me do know this.
It's your love for your country.
Yeah, look. When my son-in-law Mudu Musa picks me from the airport every time I travel. So when we take a turn, from the airport now and then just turn into the Battling Harding, what I tell him all the time in Wolof, diga, lo bañ baro. Tell him ligay na ko. Lolu mom diga. Mbadu. Waaw, xam nga beneen de. Waaye bii moom.
Because it takes you 6 minutes home now,
eh? And a smooth road. And again, I must compliment publicly the contractor.
Yeah.
So we have seen contractors that have messed up. But Areski, they have a track record of delivering. So whatever it may be, how nakala deme lol man du suma affaire. Man lima gis is the end result. And what I see in the end result, really, this is a job well done. At night, all these solar lights, I'm try to capture a good picture of it. You know me, I love my pictures.
Yeah. And you have your drone, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have my drone, with tech. But, so really, I mean, we must learn, and this is from both ends.
That's right.
That when somebody does good, we compliment you. But if you do otherwise, please, if we criticize constructively, don't label us otherwise.
That's right.
It's not fair.
That's right.
I mean, the last time was one time I walked into the airport, and my flight was with Arik, I think, and I landed around 1 o'clock, when the airport was just refurbished. Yeah. And it was being cleaned. So the first thing I did was, with my phone, boom, 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 and I tweeted it. And I tagged the GCAA. And I'm sure they were happy. But if something goes wrong with the airport and I post it, please don't label me otherwise.
That's right.
But we need to be objective here. Let's give compliment to where it's due, but also when we pick up things so that you can sit up.
Because it's our
Don't now label me as if I'm opposing you. I'm not. You know, again, I'll tell you, today I was driving to, no, was it yesterday, I think? I was driving to TAF City, and I drove past Sanyang, and the road, there's a huge pothole there. So what I do there and then, I took up the phone, George Jatta, who once worked with me, he started as an intern, and today he's a director in NRA.
Wow.
I call him, George, look, you guys, have you seen this pothole? Da, 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 da. And I want to give a big compliment to Babukar Senghor. I don't think he's at NRA anymore. Babukar Senghor was there before. I think that's the MD also.
I know, yeah.
That's how it works. And every time I see something on the road, I will call him directly. Babukar.
And they'll fix it.
And he will act. No, Koto, you call Lee, you get the. So we will compliment you, the public servants. And one was, you know, the road that goes to the cemetery?
Yes, this one here?
Yeah. One time it was very bad. Seriously, I called him. I went to a burial. It was, I think, on a Wednesday or so. Now, I went to another one on Friday. I saw these people working overtime, fixing it. So I called him and said, well, Babukar, well done. You know, and we must call their names publicly if they do right. We know that, look, they are here to serve, and they are serving under, at times, very difficult conditions. But we must have a culture of complimenting what is right and also constructively criticizing what is wrong.
Wow.
We have to.
Big bro, let me steer you a little bit away from this. This is heavy for me. I recently, a little bird has whispered that people who are buying property are Gambian diaspora, Caribbean, and now I'm hearing the West African Francophonies are coming. What's the magic?
Well, you know, the thing is, you look, we are living in a very small village now. The world is a village. I mean, I don't only have properties here in the Gambia. You know, wherever I find affordable, you know, and for investment or whatever, if I can, I will buy. There are Gambians who are living elsewhere, who's got homes there. That's where the world that we are living in now. There are Gambians who can afford it, who have homes in London. There are people who's gone into the system, we know this, who has now benefited from the British system to own, what's his name, they call it council houses.
Council flats, yeah.
Council flats, and all over the world. That's the world we are living in. Now, investment and housing, it's again global. Again, a country like the Gambia, because of who we are in terms of living standards, in terms of our social setup, foreigners love this country. And that's not new. That's why we are doing well in tourism.
And we can do more.
We can do more.
So,
yeah, but there's a reason. Why is it that, you know, all these British people, Scandinavians, are relocating here? There's a reason. And that's an advantage that we have, and we need to exploit it to the most. That's why we can do better. So a tourist comes in here. If most British tourists that you see are repeaters, they will come over and over and over again. The next thing, they want to settle here. Now, what's wrong in that? When they come, they bring in their own money, which the country needs. They bring in the foreign currency, which helps in our economy, which we need. So actually, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. It's one of our natural resources. We don't have diamonds, we don't have gold. But what do we have? We have a hospitality. That's an asset for us. So we're selling our hospitality. Wow. So today, the Gambia, our budget out of our GDP, I think about 20-something%.
Tourism.
It's through remittances.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, 20-something%. I think it's almost 22-23% or so. That's a lot.
It is.
So now, where is that money coming from? From other economies. So we cannot be treated in isolation. There's something we offer that makes these people go and work hard in other countries, be it Gambian, non-Gambian, whatever, and then send the money here. When it comes here, it's good for us.
I read an article many years ago in The Economist, also something called the positive reverse effect of the brain drain.
Yes, yes. Yes, actually, I tell this to young men of today that look, me, I don't have any issue of you migrating elsewhere, but please get a skill.
That's right.
For example, do you know that in Saudi Arabia they're building the line? You know, there's a city being built, the line, the Nome. You know, they need skills. Dubai, they need skills. When they Qatar, they imported skills
for the World Cup.
Yeah, so one thing that you need to do is just have the right skills, and then we can even strategically export our young ones. We shouldn't have any problem with that. I've just told you that about 150 to 175,000, you know, every year get out of our educational system, be it lower basic, middle, or high, or secondary, but they get out. So if we had a deliberate policy to invest in these kids, to have proper skills, to be the master of the game.
So they're going to have deliberate internships,
yes,
deliberate employment.
Yeah. So they're good carpenters to world standards. So what do? You export them to Qatar.
That reminds me.
They get paid a lot of money and they bring it back home.
Big bro, what was it, last week or so, we wanted to do some little change in our house we wanted to put a wooden frame on wire mesh somewhere. And this old man came in, measured. He said he would come by Wednesday. We didn't see him Monday, Tuesday. I got a bit bothered. He came on Wednesday. He came alone. He fixed this thing, went to buy silicone. There is not one gap. When Angela told me about it, I said, let's ask him. He worked in PWD. He has to have work.
Yeah.
So when I came to him and I said, Uncle, who's going to look at PWD? Say, yeah. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, they don't make them anymore like this.
Yeah, but there's a reason why. You know, for example, GTTI now is being turned into USET. You know, I mean, I loudly say I oppose this.
Really?
Yes. GTTI emerged after VTC. And others, they started it. And it's a vocational training center. So from there, they moved into GTTI. And what exams did they take? City and Guilds. City and Guilds is a mastercraft training course.
And I remember they had a foundry for...
Oh, yes, they do. You know, so there were people who went in there and they were good, you know, like Samba Sey, a carpenter. Samba Sey, you know, Samba Sey and Ibrahim Njie and others.
I know.
So some of those boys had distinction in what they were doing. That's why they're good. So now here we are, one reason or the other, it's now a university. So what are you going to get out of GTTI? People are going to qualify with their papers. And when we are dying to get tradesmen, now they will tell you, oh no, we are building the TVET centers in this place. That's for another day. But I think I didn't answer your question about you know, the issue of owning houses.
Yes.
Owning houses here in the Gambia.
So so people can now say, I have a holiday home in the Gambia.
Oh yes, they are. They are having it. What we have seen again, which is, unless it changes in the new constitution, that's something to watch.
The ownership of non-Gambians.
Yeah. But that's a dangerous one. But that's for another day.
Yeah.
But what we are seeing
22
here,
years or so.
Sorry.
They can own property,
yeah. But anyway, I don't want to go into the details. I just want to focus now on what the reality is. What we are seeing today in the Gambia is because of, one, affordability. Two, because of what we offer. People want to have, you know, a pleasure of life. And when they come in here, they know, well, peace and security exists in this country. So why not? You can walk at 3 o'clock in the morning from Senegambia to Kololi. Nobody will mob you. So it's a peaceful country.
Can jog at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah. So that's there. So they will come back here. People are very hospitable. You know, you meet a Gambian, they smile. So this sells. So but then now people say, oh, why can't I settle here? You know, after retirement, I want somewhere peaceful. I don't want to live in England, because we saw this week where riots are coming up. So being now a non-British, it's dangerous to work in England now. You cannot know when somebody will stab you.
Many years ago, could have. Sorry, my mind's just rushing. A friend of mine was coming here, so I went to pick her from the airport and said, "Oh, can we give this lady a lift? We're going to the same hotel." The lady had a baby. They were both in Coco Ocean. And so when I dropped her, I said to her, do you want to eat? I said, what about your friend? I don't know. She said, this lady, we just met on the flight. She said she just had a baby. She's really tired. She wanted to go to a country where she could relax and rest, and she didn't have any problem with visa hassle. She checked, and she came to the Gambia.
Yeah.
I felt so good.
Of course. You hear it all the time. You know, actually today somebody, an American who's a client of us, emotional, he wept. I'm telling you this. This was at about 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Bought one of our houses, And actually, he says for him, he dreams about things. And one of his dreams was to come to Africa. And he said, look, somehow you did well because I followed you through from William Maya videos. The man, you were giving me details, telling me about the way I walk. He says, look, I study like the way I read my Quran. He's Muslim. He's a black American Muslim.
Yeah.
He said, that's the way I follow you. I know exactly what you do. And I am convinced that you are the right man that I should buy property. So the man has never seen me. He's never been to Gambia. But he came to me to inspect his property. He's paid the money, everything. So when he came in and stepped foot and looked at the house, the man almost broke down. He wept. He said, look, everybody told me that you're sending your money to Africa, you're going to lose it. Wow. Here you have proven a point. Number two, I'm emotional because I believe that I'm African, my ancestors were taken from here, and I want to come back.
Come back home.
So who are we to stop them? Who are we to stop them? So what message are we sending back?
With the limitation.
Yeah.
That's
So we need to watch things like this. It's very sensitive. How many Gambians are living in the US with US passports and have all the rights there? So I am somebody who's very liberal. Yes, there should be laws that should apply to anybody that comes in. As long as you don't break the law, we're good to go. But in reality, as somebody who's practicing in the real estate sector, what we are seeing now, we are seeing, yes, Gambians who's been away for a long time, they want to come back home, which is normal. We are seeing also people from the Caribbean, probably who's been living in the US or living in England, who sees, Gambia the same as Jamaica, but Jamaica is too dangerous for them. So they're saying, look, everything that I want back home in Jamaica, I can find in the Gambia. So after working for so many years, 30-something, 40-something years, I can retire into the Gambia. So we're seeing also non-Gambians, British or American, who also wants to have a holiday home here. Dubai, that's the way it's worked. Dubai, you go there, the laws and regulations are all stated. There are some land that non-Emiratis cannot live there. There are some areas that's only meant for the Emiratis. But there are areas that is international. As long as you pay the right fees, do the right stuff, then that's it. But that is why Dubai is growing. It's a deliberate policy.
Yeah.
The non-Emiratis are more than the Emiratis in Dubai. But they don't feel threatened because they put the right laws and regulations in place. That's how a government works. Don't make it discretionary. So Soska comes today, you say, Soska, you're welcome class. So no, no problem. Ibrahim comes, no, let there be the law. The law is the law.
I like that.
Yeah, so once you abide by the law, we know this fair treatment, and it's good for everybody.
That's right.
So yes, I think, but the country, if we manage it very well, and look, we can attract, good human resources. Because when they come here, some of them are very smart, and we can use them. Obviously, economically, it's good for the country because they bring in money. Some of them, for example, in training, they can
transfer of skills.
Yeah, some skills transfer into the country. So we just need to manage it right. And again, it's economic development is also job creation, because if they buy a house, the house is being built, governments are building it, and they make their own money. But we shouldn't have this blanket thing about, he's foreign. There's nobody foreign now in the world.
That's right.
Like for us, as West Africans, we have a right to live anywhere in West Africa.
That's right.
Once in Nigeria, somebody was telling, no, we're going to do this. I said, my friend, I have a right to be here. Because your government have signed, this
ECOWAS.
treaty under ECOWAS that I can come into this place 90 days without any problem. So there's a need to change the mindset where when a crime is committed, you say, Nigerian Sila. Freetonian Sila. Not wrong by some street girl in the street, Liberian Sila. At times you are shocked, laka bin laka. So. So my friend, really, Pastor, I think there's a need for mindset, change of mindset.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this. Let me start landing this plane. So, dear queer.
Yeah. Dear queer, I sit sometimes. Am I saying the right thing? I scratch my head. In my bad days. Because Pastor, we don't have all the time in the world.
Yes.
I don't have all the time in the world. At 67 now, even where I'm youthful, I want to do things. And sometimes in the morning, I get up and it's difficult getting off the bed.
A friend of mine says you have to have a board meeting with your legs.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
we're now moving.
Yeah,
So let's move
get
slowly.
ready, yeah. So yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm a very optimistic person. You know, I'm an optimist. I mean, I only see a glass half full.
Half full.
You know, and that's who I am. So and I think in running a country and being a leader, an economic leader, I cannot but see things positively and encourage those who look up to me, and they do. Quite a number of people look up to me.
And of course, there's
And positive.
Tafla too.
No, not only Tafla, seriously. I want to use this medium and thank Gambians in general. A high percentage of Gambians, you know, they admire and appreciate what I do.
That's true.
And I get this appreciation every day from where, you know, everywhere. When I go to buy bread, for example, I buy my croissant in the morning at King Baker's. There's no way I will walk in where I will not meet somebody who compliments me. You know, this is very humbling, and I feel good about it.
Yes, sir.
So in general, this issue of, yeah, garments then bond, and no. For me, no. There's one or two. You go on social media, you have one or two, you know, negative comments, but that's normal. The Prophet ﷺ for us in Islam is much better than us. The criticism that he had, we will not have it. Christ, your Lord,
That's right.
What he went through, you will not go through it. So who are we not to be criticized? But I think in general, I mean, then coming back to the Diakuya, it's just trying to have some positive mindset so that it can be done. Obama, when he came in as the president of the U.S., you know, that's the mantra that he had. Yes, we can. And he delivered. You know, a black, you know, American of father Kenyan origin. You know, he can trace like his cousins in Nairobi, in Kenya today. You know, and then he was at the #1 office in the U.S. So if he can do it, we can do it. So it's just some positive mindset and some positive vibes that I want to throw around. That we should all be positive. We cannot give up. We don't have a choice. So today, no matter what happened, this is home.
This is home.
So we need to accept who we are. In life, there's nothing from the creator that's bad. There's a reason for everything. You know, so again, repeating the issue of having a glass half full and half empty is the thing. It's the way you see it. You know, when I went to Nigeria again, you know, you've been to Port Harcourt, you visited. Nobody wanted to touch that piece of land. They thought it was impossible.
Man, I saw that place.
Yeah, some big guy, you know, who became my friend later, you know, when he was told that I was doing that work there, he said, "Who's this fool?" That's, you know, he came and confessed later. So, and I said, "Look, I'll wait until he fails. Then I'll go and see the government. Now they will give me money and I will do otherwise."
Wow.
So when he passed again and saw the way we were working, he said, "Who is this man with a lion's heart? I have to beat this guy."
Wow.
So he met me and we became friends. He even came to Gambia.
Okay.
Yes. So that is, for me, that's what life is about. I mean, I never say never.
So where did this all start, TAF?
I think it's my upbringing.
You've been driven from childhood?
No, I mean, I think my mom pushed me to this. My mom, you know, don't underestimate the things you go at the home. You know, my mom sold buro liba.
Wow.
You know, so, and I will go to the market with her. And she will wake me up when I want to sleep and carry the
pan.
The bati pan or the calabash. You know, that look, discipline to get things done. You know, in our days, we used to rot butil. I don't know if you remember that. You have to fridge, so you have to fill up with water to put it there.
I know.
You know, and then again, if you go back, if I want to analyze probably who I am, one thing that really made me who I am was when I started working. I worked for a British firm, Balfour Beatty. You remember Balfour Beatty?
Yeah, BB.
And obviously, as an international British firm, I mean, they were disciplined to make money and do things right, but they were also paying money there. You know, I worked for a very short time, you know, a transition. My father passed away in 1979. And then I started working in Balfour Beatty in 1977. My salary was 40% higher than my dad's in the private sector. So my dad couldn't say otherwise, because my dad wanted me to take up a white-collar job. So imagine leaving Gambia High School. I should have been like Soska. Go study chemistry. Or like I said to go study biochemistry. my son, I was the first
That's what I'm
son.
doing, man.
Yeah, my first son, you know,
Yes.
and there was this boy wanted to take up carpentry. So you can imagine what my dad felt.
And imagine those days.
Yeah, but then I picked up a job with God forbid as an engineer's assistant. And straight away, when he saw my salary, it was 40% more than his. He had to say, this boy, maybe you do the wrong thing.
Mr. If I go do carpentry.
Yeah. So honestly, I think if I look now at my background, I mean, I was disciplined working for them. Not only working and enjoying, having a passion for what I was doing, but they were paying well. They were paying us overtime. Overtime was time and a half. You know, if I work on Sundays, it's double timing.
Yeah.
7 years, I don't take leave. Then they pay you bonus for the leave.
Oh my goodness.
So I was just hungry to get the money. And that made me to build my house. I built my house actually before I got married at 27. My first house, I built it before I got married.
Wow.
Yes. But money was coming in. I was working, you know, and I was willing to do so. I was enjoying it. I will be put on a truck. Those days you have a laterite road driving, you know, to Basi and so on. Go to Kudang, you know, work there as the senior surveyor. But, you know, good money those days. I was making money, saving money, you know. So I think that's the background. So we need to now, for me, if I had my way, that's what I will do. I'll take these kids and put them there. Say after grade, I think it's grade 9.
9,
yeah. After grade 9, or even before that, some of them will identify what they're passionate about. What they're passionate about is skills, but I will combine it. I will tell you what. You know what? Football, sports. Seriously, and this is my analytical mind. If I had my way, football will be part of our curriculum. Because that's what they want.
Interestingly enough, somebody said that this morning in my TFA class that I just asked him randomly, if you were going to change Gambia, what would you do? Sports.
Yes. You know why? When I drive between Bruford to TAF City all the time, at times I get up very early. After my Fajr prayers, I go to work. And I will see these young men, before 7 o'clock, they are with their socks and their balls and going to the beach to practice. But that's what they want.
There's a passion.
There's a passion for it. And there's money in football. But there should be condition now. That, okay, for you to play football and have all these amenities, it goes in parallel. You must have one practical skill. So you are a carpenter and a footballer. You are a plumber and a footballer. You are an electrician and a footballer. Seriously, it will change the dynamics in this country. We should stop this Oyibo inherited educational structure.
And the backward thing will go down.
It will go down. So we invest in football.
Wow. Are we listening?
Yeah, we invest in football, like make sure that, for example, there are good stadiums built around. Because around football, the whole ecosystem drives money.
That's true.
If we fill the stadium, those who buy soft drinks, the tickets, you know, the popcorns, you name it, everything around it, there's money being turned around.
There's a Real Madrid channel, Manchester United TV channel, Chelsea TV channel. It's like
so now, and then now, remember again, we're competing in the globe. If we make, like, Minte is now playing for which team? One of these big teams, isn't it? So if we have 3 or 4 all the time going, also we export them, and they will send the hard currency back. But they have to take it 2 ways. It must be as part of the policy that you must have a skill. You cannot play football only. You have to pick up a skill that you make a choice. You will be assessed to see how good you are in the skill. If you say, well, my passion is carpentry, like TAF at the time, okay, we'll push you. We'll give you the best of training to be a carpenter. So if you fail in the football, which life is very short. Sports life is very short these days. So by 27, really, you need to move on with your life. So at least then, whatever money you have made from this, if you make any, invest it in this permanent skill in life.
You know, you've just painted a picture for me that gives me hope that it's not really difficult to change things here.
No, it isn't. But as a teamwork, how do we change it? Teamwork. We need to stop personalizing these things. You know, looking at the offices and somebody who's there, and most of the time it's too discretionary. Set the laws properly. Regulations, the policies, let it be very clear. Modernize it, digitize. We need to digitize.
And we need to break these silos.
Yeah, for example, some of us, we deal with the Ministry of Lands and local government. Everybody goes there, anybody with property. My friend, let's digitize it. So I can pay whatever I can pay online, and then somebody can print it and send it online. Actually, the volume of money that the government will make, it will be unbelievable. Why do I have to drive all the way to land's office and then queue up there, and the guy has a ngente, and then somebody's going to go 40 days, you wait again. You know, time is being wasted. If you sell a property, remember a capital gains tax, government gets 5% or 5% of profit, or 15% of turnover, something like that. I don't even know the figures. We need to realize that the more we expedite the process, the more money government gets and then puts it into social services. But the more you put those obstacles, the more you fill somebody's pocket.
That's true. That's
the reality.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have hope. I'm seeing, so we could turn tourism into a cash cow.
Oh yeah, a lot of things. I mean, for me, look, the country is not difficult to fix. I mean, the countries these days. Forget about only Gambia. You know, it's not difficult, but there's some fundamental issues you need to do. We need to stop personalize these things here, like addressing like certain leaders as one person who will take a decision on something. My friend, set it clear. Set the system straight. So I know that if I want X, Y, and Z, that's what I need to do. And today from your phone, there are apps to pay all these things.
That's right.
I don't need to go and transfer cash, whatever. You know, these things are available. They are available. So it should be utilized.
I'm going to have to bring this to an. It's like 3 more minutes here. So what's his hobby? I know once he was golfing.
For me, I tried golf, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
You know,
But you do long walks, I know.
No, I walk.
That's
for
exercise.
Yeah, actually, I walk for a good. I'm hypertensive, and I've been hypertensive for the past 27 years.
Wow.
You know, so every day I take medication daily.
And you overcame the prostate thing too.
Yeah, prostate. I had prostate cancer. You know, so I have to keep fit. Not only that.
Anyway, he's going nowhere. Yeah, don't worry.
I love dressing well too. So this pot belly, I want to push it down.
I can see it. I can see it.
You know. So for those reasons, you know, I want to keep fit, and I enjoy walking around. Hobby really for me today, my hobby is social media, playing around social media. My phone. As long as I have my phone,
you're good.
I'm good. So if you want to punish me, don't take me to Alcatraz. Take my phone away from me. Then I'm in trouble. Actually, my staff, you know, they've discussed this over and over again, and they should take my phone away from me, and they know it's not possible. My phone is my life, and I have everything there. These days, you make transfer for payments. You go to a restaurant, you pay with your phone.
That's right.
You know, I'll watch what happened now on Facebook, like one of this link here.
Yeah.
Most likely, I'll have comments from all over the world. My followers today, the most active are non-Gambians.
Yeah.
I'm followed from everywhere, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, Barbados, I had the former Minister of External Affairs. She follows me religiously.
I hope she's coming to buy a house here.
No, she's retired. She's retired in Barbados. They're doing very well. Yes. Actually, I'm planning a trip to Barbados with Wodemaya.
Oh, no.
You know,
You're going again.
Yeah, well, I move around, but I have my bucket list.
You're going again.
And there are countries I want to visit. I've never been to the Caribbean. I would love to go there. Next month, or October, I'm going to Zanzibar. You know,
is that a visit, or they also want to build something there?
No. I have a conference there, and
that's another thing. You're speaking everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to share my experience. I mean, 50 years of work, it's not 50 days.
I know.
Just like yourself.
I know.
I mean, it didn't just happen overnight. I know a lot of people now want to be public speakers, but when you speak, you have to make sense. So otherwise, they'll say, this that you said is not true. And then the worst thing is there's VAR. This is what you said yesterday, and today you are saying this. So there must be consistency, you know, that you must be consistent, and whatever you are saying, it's the whole world that's listening.
All right. So now to the final thing.
Yeah.
What is happening in Sierra Leone? What is happening in Nigeria? And what is happening in Jollof? Yeah.
Gambia, where, as I said, we're trying to build 5,000 units. You know, it's a city, tough city. It's all affordable housing. Affordable, you know, is relative.
That's right.
Yeah. And then Sierra Leone, it's only in the Gambia that we're not working with the government. In Sierra Leone, we are working with the government.
Okay.
The government gave us the land,
Wow.
and then gave us incentives, and then we control and do things. So we're building 5,000 units in Sierra Leone. In Nigeria, in Port Harcourt, to be specific, we're doing 20,000 houses. But what is interesting now, what we have been able to do was to have a single design for all these countries. And again, it came from me where I thought, look, this Samsung phone, which is a Note 23, is the same phone that you buy everywhere. So why should my houses be different between Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and Gambia? So we have one design for all the countries. So there's a 49 square meters that we are building standard, everything the same in the Gambia. It's called the Mariatu. If you go to Sierra Leone, the same house, everything the same, is called the Saleh. If you go to Nigeria, it's called the Charity. So the only thing is the name, and we localize the name. That's the only difference. But otherwise, everything else the same. So if we're ordering doors from a supplier in China, it's the same type of door that we order. If we're ordering lights, the same type of lights. And then because our staff get moved from one place to the other, they master the same type of building, same type of sizes, and so on. So we standardize. So again, it's towards our goal to build 1 million homes. And yes, these are the ones that are now ongoing. I think the next stop will be Liberia. I have an invitation from the president to invest in affordable housing. But what we do, when we get invited, we send them, all our conditions. We put it off our computer, and we want to do an NDA. We then show you like a typical prototype MOU, JVA, and everything. We send it to you. And look, these are our conditions. If you can match them, I will come. Look, Sierra Leone, I must tell you, was very fast. Although Nigeria, the second one, is faster. But Sierra Leone came after TAF City here in the Gambia. I went in there, and whilst I was there, we signed an MOU. They were eager to have it happen. The president saw me and said, look, it has to happen. What are your conditions? And I gave my conditions, and then he instructed the Minister of Housing, local government and housing, whatever, and it happened. Sierra Leone, we started building about a year ago, and it's there. But Nigeria, when we went back for the Greater TAF City, the reason why we call it Greater, because we are in partnership with Greater Port Harcourt. Okay. It's not because it's much bigger, but I don't want to demoralize the other companies. Yes. So I was called in December, around December 15, by the new governor, who was still interested. Fubara, we have Fubara, Sim Fubara, and that he wanted to build, housing again, mass, whatever, and then sign an MOU before Christmas, and then he said, I want you to start immediately. I said, but Oga, I will have to go for Christmas. After Christmas, you must come, because I wanted to lay the foundation stone. So I came back around the 15th, the foundation stone was laid. On the 23rd, we broke ground. We went onto the site. And as I told you, it was January 23rd that we broke ground. And today, there are 600 units that are ongoing. We've sold over 500. And January 23rd, so February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 7 months. But there it's done different. We are building what we call carcasses, semi-finished, and we allow them to finish it up. Because the Naira has just lost value. So we avoid using imported materials.
So the Liberians, your turn?
Because I have a lot of But strategically, we want to cover English-speaking West Africa. Okay. For a lot of reasons. All right. Today, with A-Sky, I can hop and be in any country, anywhere. So that's easy. Okay. If I want to go east or south, we get invitations all the time. It will take forever to be there. Yeah. And as I said, I keep emphasizing the fact that I'm not getting younger.
So what happened to the PJ?
Oh, no.
We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
No PJ. We fly like everybody else. I fly economy actually going to Sierra Leone. One time I flew with yes, I deliberately. I don't have the need to fly business to Sierra Leone.
It's just 1 hour.
Oh, it's just 1 hour. So what point am I trying to prove?
Why should I?
No, I tell you this one. There was a government official, somebody who's got some international thing. Yeah. So we all walked in and it's a she. She expected me to sit in business. So I passed and went and sat in economy. And then, she sat in business. And then she turned and said, look, I'm really guilty. I know that you can afford to be here. I am a public servant and I'm sitting here. I said, no, it comes with the pack. It comes with the pack. I love that. But for me, I do things for a reason, so the things you enjoy from business is you go into a lounge.
Yes.
So when I'm flying out of here, you pay now to get into the lounge.
Priority pass, one of those kind of things.
So I pay, get the lounge, get the coffee, do my prayers. So when I sit on an Air Sky flight, which is not bad, the leg room, 1 hour, because it goes very early in the morning. Yes. When I sleep on a plane very quickly. So then when I lean my head off that morning, I sleep. Next thing you're landing.
So you don't know whether it's business or
economy. Why should I pay double the price? Instead, if I give you, if economy is $40,000, business would be 80,000.
That's true.
So that 40,000, let me pay my tithes for it.
Oh, come on. I will take it.
So it goes into a good cause. So that's my analogy, really.
Yes,
that why do I have to pay that extra for, for image? Why? What point am I proving?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is him. Simple, funny, helpful, visionary, mentor, inspiration, always ready to help. Mr. Mustapha Njie, TAF. Thank you so much. A lot of details are on the screens being shared, and maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to partner, maybe there's going to be a greater which other country is left now? Well, you've covered everything.
Actually,
there's Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana. Ghana, we're avoiding it. It's too competitive.
Right,
saturated.
Okay, all right.
Ghana for me is saturated.
It's saturated.
Nigeria is a continent. There's 36 states in Nigeria.
All by itself.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the governors are going to start competing
now. They are, but some of them can't meet our conditions. Politicians.
Okay. All right.
The moment you start talking politics, I move away. I don't play politics.
That's true.
And that is why I could transition from one government to the other who are opposing each other.
That's right.
I transitioned from Rotimi Amechi to Wike. Wow. Now I have transitioned from Wike to Fubara. And if you know Rivers very well, Rivers politics can be vicious.
I know.
By the way, Pastor, before you end, I just want to thank you for this. Again, you're my brother.
Yes,
we gel very well.
Yes, sir.
And this comes from way back of who we used to live in Banjul in Gambia.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And I think it is important that if I have this opportunity, through this forum, that we bring this out.
Yes, sir.
We never had any religious divide.
Yes, sir.
That's the way we were raised.
Yes, sir.
When Nanburu, I enjoy Angela's Nanburu.
Yes,
you
sir.
Send.
Thank you.
Yeah, when there's Tobaski, you have part of my mutton.
Thank you, sir.
That's the way who we are. We cannot be caged.
Like that.
And we were raised like that. We'll sleep in, a Christian friend's house and eat there and do everything.
And you saw intermarriages.
Yes. Intermarriages. My aunt died a Christian who was married to my uncle, Auntie Dolly,
Yes.
So my cousins, their mom is Christian, but they're my cousins, they're my blood.
Yes.
And that's the way we live. Lakum dinikum waliya din is from the Quran, that leave everybody to practice what they practice. God knows best. And God has been existing ever since, up to time, you cannot tell when, infinity.
That's right.
And if he wanted to do otherwise, he will do it. He's not sending anybody to do it for us. The days of, what's his name, jihad and so on, where you could kill to convert people are no more. No. So we live in a small country that we should all enjoy.
Yes, sir.
We have our differences.
Yes, sir.
Let us live with our differences. That is what is positive.
Yes, sir.
Twins are born, one black, one light skin, from the same womb, the same mother. So we need to accept our differences, and it is from God the Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
and move together.
And move together. Wow. One thing we share in common is we are Gambians. We share, we travel with one green passport.
That's right.
And the more we live together, accept each other in a positive mood, we will all be lifted together.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. I can't say anything more than that. Please share the link. Listen to this, young people. Everybody, let's listen. I'm really interested in this tourism component, the sports component. Incidentally, I had it this morning. I just asked somebody, if you were going to run this country, what 3 things would you do? And he just said sports. I was like, hello, I never thought about that. And you're talking about that.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
I'm convinced, because the kids, as I said, they love it. You can't take it away from them. They love football.
So you're not even going to push them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, allow them to play football. Like my grandkids now, my grandsons, they go to academy every morning, every weekend. But they go to school too.
That's right.
So the two must go together. We must give them equal opportunities. That's my point.
Well, folks,
Thank you.
Until we come your way again, there's another chat with somebody else, but this is pivotal for me. This has raised the bar. Thank you so much, big bro.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Pastor. It was my pleasure.
All right, cheers. Wow.